Hello, hello. What is going on, humans? Thank you for joining me on episode 61, right? Is that right?
62.
62? Whoa. How am I not keeping track of my own show? Thanks, Mike. This is why I have you here. Well, tonight, it's a very special night because we're here for a good cause to save KAVA Lounge. Yes. And right now, I have the one and only Scott Bell, owner of KAVA Lounge. And I have Mr. Daniel Gold. Oh, my bad. I couldn't. Oh, sorry. I just can't hear anything.
Oh, no, sorry. We're good.
It's okay. Oh, okay. Yes. Sorry, y'all. Oh, there you go. Oh my God. I'm like, what's going on? I can't hear it. Yeah, I didn't wear my little earpiece. Yeah, because I'm wearing a dress today, so it's not. No, it's okay. Sorry, y'all. I'm just wearing a dress, and I usually put this like all the way, and it was not gonna happen tonight. I'm sorry. So I need to hear it all. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Like, This is a very special occasion, very special night. And to anyone that is watching right now, you can donate on my Venmo at Scarlett SLS, and the total amount will be towards the Save KAVA Lounge fundraiser. So, and we're gonna be making announcements. Like, we're gonna be giving shout outs to whoever donates. So don't think I'm gonna keep that money, girl, because I will give it to the fundraiser. This is what we're here for. And now we'd like to start with hearing your story. But first, I'm going to tell you something. We're going to play Jenga while we do the interview, and you can go first.
All right.
And I first want to know if you come from a musical family, because I know you're a drummer.
How do you know that?
I do my research.
I do not come from a musical family.
You can sign the Jenga and then put it on top. You can choose a color.
When I was a kid, I've always wanted to play musical instruments. My parents are not into it. And I don't know, when I was probably 15 or something, I scrounged up enough money and bought an old beat up Ludwig, which I wish I still had because now it's a classic and probably worth thousands of dollars. But where do you? Oh, on top. I forgot.
See, I asked you if you knew the rules of Jenga before we got started.
Forgot how to play.
It's okay.
At any rate, I ended up buying a drum set, an old beater, and I tried to hide it under a blanket in my bedroom, but that didn't really fly. But I've been playing. Well, I don't play anymore, but I played for a long time.
So, what other instruments do you play?
I was a decent drummer, and I play guitar, but I wouldn't call myself a decent guitar player.
And you also DJ too. That you were just talking about it. I didn't know you DJ'd.
I do DJ, mostly for fun now. I've never DJ'd at the KAVA Lounge, which is...
What? You never DJ at your own spot?
Well, I shouldn't say that. I have done a couple of opening things before anybody gets there, but I've never been like on a bill or anything.
And how do you start your music your journey in the music industry? Oh, just the first one. It's
just
cool.
The first one. Okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
We can't leave. I don't know how to play.
You were playing in bands before. Is that how you started your journey in music?
Yeah, I played. I grew up in the D.C. area, and I played there several places. And I moved to Atlanta, and I played in Atlanta for a couple of years. That was a long time ago. And even when I moved to San Diego, I played in San Diego. I played at the Velvet, which is now the KAVA Lounge, when I was in my 20s, well before we ever thought about buying it.
And how did you get the opportunity to become the co-owner of KAVA?
I was working, and
so you were working at KAVA, like
no, I was working. I was in IT. I work in IT as well, and it just kind of fell in my lap, to be perfectly honest. Christy was kind of the former owner was kind of over it, and we gave her a loan to take care of just some small bills, not very much.
Mm-hmm.
And in the contract that I wrote up, I was just like, hey, and if you ever decide you want to sell it, we want first rights of at least you want to be considered. And she gave me a phone call a couple days later, and the rest is history, as they say.
And the rest is history.
So I gotta concentrate on what I'm talking about.
See,
and on this thing,
yeah,
right?
that's a level of struggle. That's what it's fun about it. Oh, so that's amazing. You saw the opportunity and you took it.
Yeah, the only experience that I'd ever had at running a bar was sitting at one, so it was kind of learning on the fly. And it was tough the first couple of years, but you get the hang of it. It's not the world's hardest job.
Really? How did you get the background and skills necessary to run this type of business?
I just kind of
You just did it?
just winged it.
You had some help.
Yes, absolutely had some help. I'll get to that. When we first started, it was several of the people stayed over. Steve stayed over, and Grammatique stayed over, and there's another girl, I can't remember her name, she stayed for a little bit. And we went through a little bit of turnover as we were getting our feet wet, learning how to do things, and then Dan came along and really jumped in with both feet. And over the course of the next few years, he's really taken over running the day-to-day business of the place. There's no way I could do it without him.
Aw, that's beautiful. That's why both of you are here with me, because you both make a KAVA Lounge. Even though we were talking about how you don't usually hang out, he's the one that is basically the face of KAVA.
Yeah, a lot more people know Dan than know me. So
It's really been a team effort. A lot of people over the years have played a very strong role. Mateo before me, obviously
yeah, I should have
Christy,
said his name.
Steve. It's kind of been like a crazy relay race in a weird way, but we've all worked together and handed off different responsibilities, and yeah, it takes a village, right?
Yeah, it really does.
And what do you think are some advantages and disadvantages of this form of business ownership?
The advantage, honestly, is being able to be in the music scene still. As you mentioned before, I grew up playing in bands and DJing and all of that, and this was a way to stay active in it. It was really important to me to stick to the original concept that Christy had come up with, and it's really just been a way to keep my hand in it.
Have you made some changes? Like when you became the owner, did you make some changes?
Not at first. We kept it pretty much the same. I slowly started taking some of the stuff, just the decorations and stuff down, just due to maintenance, because we didn't, it's a tight operation. We don't have cleaning crews that come in there at the end of every night. It's me or Dan or Rachel and so I took some things down because they were tough to keep clean. And we kind of made it a little bit more minimalistic, but by and large, up until we just repainted and redid the things, we kept it pretty much the same.
That's good. You kept the essence of original KAVA. You just maybe added some extra touches. Like that bathroom, I love. Like, was that before you owned it, or was that already there? The bathroom.
That was Rachel's doing 100%.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's very good with the
It's
paint.
pretty iconic.
Yeah, there's so many selfies that have been taken in those bathrooms at this point.
And she, she's kind of got carte blanche to do that. I just came in one day and it was like that, and I was like, oh, all right.
You're like, all right, I'll guess.
Like,
so it's good. So you pretty much give your employees also a say in what KAVA Lounge can be.
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Dan might tell you something different, but I feel like I give them enough
freedom,
decent enough leeway. I mean, I do still have the final say in things, especially if it has an effect on the business. But for the most part, pretty easy.
Give Scott a say too. So.
Yeah, so everyone has a little bit of say.
For sure. Dan has final say in the as far as the day-to-day bar stuff, and that was one of the things that he wanted. And and who better to decide that? You know, some guy that's not there
Yeah.
during open hours, or the guy that has his finger on the pulse of the place. So,
Definitely.
you know, as far as the business side of it goes, I guess that's what I should clarify. Is the business side is I take that lead, but as far as the day-to-day operations, it's all Dan.
That's great. So since you said that you kind of did it on the fly, like being a business owner, how are you able to learn how to be a business owner? Like, did you like take courses or just kind of go with the flow?
No, I mean, it's not. There's really only one rule in business, and it's you got money coming in and you have money going out. And this side's got to be more than this side, or else it doesn't work. And otherwise, it's, you know, it's just like taking care of your house. You know, you got to pay your bills. I just have different bills. There were certain things, like the first time we ran out of gas for the beer tap system. It was like in the middle of the night. I didn't know what to do, you know, but you get through that stuff, and once you learn it, it's, you know.
And what are some of the disadvantages then? If you already
it my
talk
turn
about
again?
Yes. It's okay. Since we already talked about the advantages, now we can talk about some of the disadvantages of having this form of business.
But there's not a whole lot of money in it. You wouldn't do it to, you know, really
get
try
rich, yeah.
try and make a living. But it is, you know, you can either sell out and try and capitalize on. Oh, you almost blew it.
I know.
Capitalize on, or you can be in it for the long haul and for the music, and that's really, I think, more what we're about.
Yeah, you are known for that, and you've said that KAVA is a labor of love. And
It is for everybody that's there, for sure.
why is it important for you to have this place for the community and for yourself, despite the challenges?
I think it's important for every city to have a place or two like this. We were talking before the show about how I used to travel a lot. I used to work for doing computer work for the U.S. Marshals, so I was on the road about 25 days out of 30, and this was before we worked at KAVA, or I had KAVA. But I was DJing at the time, and this was before CDJs or USB or any of that stuff.
So you were with vinyl?
So you spun with vinyl, and you couldn't find records there. Every record store was different, so everywhere I went, I was looking for, as soon as I got out of work, I was looking for the local record store for tracks, and I was looking for the local underground club to go to that night. I gotta start going this way. I've been grabbing all the ones from this
look,
side.
it's all uneven. So what is your favorite memory of KAVA Lounge?
Oh boy.
There's so many, right?
I don't know that I have a favorite single memory, but you know, it can be stressful, and it can be trying, and it can be thankless at times. And you know, it'll be a couple weeks, and I won't go there when we're open or whatever, and I'll be kind of disgruntled about everything. And I'll come in and I'll drop the supplies off, and then I'll talk or whatever, and for whatever reason I'll hang out, and then people start showing up, and people start having a good time, and people are really enjoying themselves there. And you know, like I said, nobody really knows who I am, so I don't get talked to a lot. You know, there's some weirdo standing in the corner, but I get to see everybody really enjoying themselves, and that makes everything worth it. It really does.
That's beautiful. I can tell that you're so passionate, and I love being around that energy, because there's not a lot of people that can say that are gonna be in this industry in the long run. And right now it's been difficult for all of us, and sometimes I have like that melancholy, and I just feel like I'm missing my life, and I don't know how long this is gonna take till everything goes back to normal.
Yeah, it's I don't think it's gonna go away anytime really soon. It's, you know, it's just not showing signs of that. And if you look at history and how long previous ones have lasted, I mean, you got to take into account our medical and technological advances, and hopefully that'll shave that down some. But you know, I would think, you know, hopefully we can be looking around January or something like that. That's kind of hopefully what we're thinking. But you don't know. You know, it could be. This is still phase 1. Phase 2 could come ripping through.
And how have you been coping with everything that's been going on? What are your stress coping mechanisms? What do you do?
Well, you know, I play some video games, and I
take some shots.
I kind of stopped drinking a little while ago because it was just too easy to do. So I was like, all right, I better back off on that for a little bit. You know, I don't know that I have any coping mechanisms. I've just kind of been dealing with it.
Just taking it. That's kind of, sometimes like whatever it is, sometimes you don't even know what helps anymore, right?
Yeah. I mean, I sit down and I play my guitar, and is it my turn or did I do?
Yeah, it's your turn. Well, that's good. You know that at least you. Well, it's not good, but it's good. I mean, we're still here at least.
Yeah.
You know,
and we're all in it together. I mean, you can sit there and piss and moan about how terrible your life is, but you know the guy in the building next to you or whatever is going through the same thing. You know?
Yeah, that's the thing. We're all going through the same struggle, especially us in the industry. I think that's where we connect the most. Like a couple of days ago, I was just feeling a little off, and then, you know, at 2 a.m. I decided to turn up my little speaker in my house and just dance in my room, and I just made me feel so much better. It's crazy how like one little thing can just switch your whole mood. And so, did you have anything that you want to tell people that go to KAVA Lounge, you know, and all the fans? Like, what do you want your fans to know, like the fans of KAVA Lounge?
I just hope you guys know that we're doing it for the right reasons. That we want you to come there. We want you to be creative. We want you to, you know, dance and have a good time. We want, you know, you to play music nobody's ever heard before. You know, it's your space too. You know, we just provide it.
Yeah, and it's incredible how you guys pretty much already raised your goal. And we were talking about how it happened in May, like where you put the fundraiser, right? And now, well, it took
the fund. I originally made the fundraiser in May, but we didn't publicize it for several months, up until, I don't even know what the date was, but it was only about a week ago, maybe. And that's when it actually became public.
Off, yeah.
And one of the KAVA Lounge patrons happens to work at GoFundMe, so he changed the date on there, and he helped me out through some technical issues that I was having. So that was yet another way that, you know, KAVA Lounge has helped out. They even helped me with the GoFundMe.
Yeah, and how do you feel like seeing all the support from the community?
It's and I put this on there. It's overwhelming. You know, at first you're just like, the support is crazy, but it's humbling. It's you know, it's hard to describe the feeling, the outpour of support. It makes me feel validated that everything that Dan and Rachel and everybody that works there does, you know, there's a lot going on there, and it makes it all worth it.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you opening up, and
yeah, sure.
This is a space for all of us to open up and show our real selves, because we see each other, or not you as much, but we will see people. We will see.
You come
people,
early, I'll be there.
Yeah, we see people, and we don't know what they're going through, and it's just all about sharing that empathy. And I think now it's time for the human experience section, where I'm gonna ask you some questions about how you see life, the world. So the first one is, what inspires you to wake up every morning and do your best every single day?
I'll tell you, man, that first cup of coffee is what gets me out of bed every morning. I really enjoy it. You know, I think it's a tall order to do your best every day, and I don't think that I accomplish that goal, to be perfectly honest. but you still, those are the days that you have to fight through and still try and accomplish something positive, even on the down days. What inspires me is music, because music has always inspired me. I don't watch a lot of TV. It bores me for the most part. Every once in a while, a good show will come on, and I'll get hooked into it. But for the most part, I'd rather do something interactive, or play music.
Beautiful. Yeah, music is what keeps us going. What is your biggest irrational fear?
Heights.
Heights.
Yeah,
oh,
without a doubt.
So you would never go skydiving ever.
My palms are starting to sweat right now just talking about it.
Oh no.
It might be the Jenga. I'm not
It's
sure.
all a tactic so Scarlett could beat you.
I know. I know. Oh my God, it's so close. I feel like it's gonna drop any soon. What makes you feel accomplished?
I've done a few things in my life that I'm proud of. Going to school and getting my MCSE degree for IT was a big deal. I'm not a school kind of guy. I didn't really I didn't graduate college or do anything like that.
Okay.
So when I got that degree, I was pretty proud of myself.
That's beautiful.
And I mean, that's outside of the KAVA Lounge. I think the KAVA Lounge is pretty much the obvious answer.
Yeah, the obvious. Yeah, it's great. I graduated from SUSU last year, and that was a pretty big accomplishment.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
It's a lot of work.
it is. What bad habits do you want to ditch?
Bad habits. I got a lot of bad habits. I'm just not sure I want to get rid of it.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to get rid of them. Like, you can keep them.
I'm not a very good driver. It'd be nice to be a better driver. I don't know if that's a habit or not. God, my girlfriend busts my balls all the time, but she's right. I'm terrible at it. As far as bad habits go, I probably drink too much, and I've been doing good lately.
Hey, there you go. One step closer.
and I can be pretty pessimistic a lot of times.
Yeah. Well, we always have enough time to improve, and we never stop learning and growing. So I think that you could also change in the future if you really want to.
Absolutely.
We all have our own bad habits, right? And we're not perfect at all. So I think as we're constantly trying to improve ourselves, that's all that matters. So it's okay.
Absolutely.
You're doing great. Have you made any recent acts of kindness?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, which hopefully people don't think I'm some sort of asshole, but
No,
there hasn't been a whole lot of opportunity. I mean, I bring my neighbor's trash cans in every week, if that counts, but I don't think that really counts as an act of
that's kind of
like
nice.
a big act of kindness.
That's kind of nice, I want to have my neighbor take out my trash too. I mean, why not? What positive changes have you made in your life recently? It's your turn.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure it's your turn.
Yeah, I know.
I just positive changes. A lot of these life-changing questions stuff, my life's been stagnant. Mostly because of this COVID. I don't leave my house. Dan and I went out a month ago or so. That's the only time I've been out. So it's kind of hard to answer. Maybe some of these, because I don't really have the opportunities to go out. Now I can't even remember what the question was. What
what positive changes have you made in your life?
Recently.
Well, it could be this year, even the beginning of the year. Whatever changes you've made.
I just try and I'd say at the beginning of the year, rededicated myself to KAVA Lounge and decided, we were really gonna put some more effort into it along with the remodel. There's more plans for the remodel. They're just not.
Yeah, it's put on hold right now.
Yeah, it's on hold because there's no point in putting money into it, and I'm certainly not going to spend the GoFundMe money on.
Yeah, on remodeling.
So.
Yeah, and speaking of that, someone needs to donate. What are y'all doing? If you're watching right now, you need to donate on that Venmo at Scarlett SLS, and I will send it to the GoFundMe. Okay, y'all? You need to start donating right now. Whoever's watching, I'm sure someone's watching right now. How many people are watching right now?
We got 7 people watching right now, and people have been coming in and out. Check your phone, see if anyone hit Venmo, because you got signed out on the computer over here.
Oh.
But, we still got the PayPal up too, so go to www.savekavalounge.com. That'll take you to a donation page if you want to pay with a debit or credit card. Hit the PayPal link. You don't need to sign in. You can continue as a guest and put in any card there. So we make it easy for you.
Yeah,
guys.
we're making
Venmo,
it easy for
PayPal.
you. Like, you need to start donating right now. Oh, it happened. Okay. So it's time for the Scarlett Letter. You're going to pick an envelope, open the question, or open it and answer the question.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the bottom one. Okay.
Cool wax seal. You gotta see these.
Oh,
things, right?
thank you. You can keep it.
It's like a letter from Dracula.
Yeah, that's a feel I was going for. I don't know why.
What mythical creature do you want to be? I think I would like to be one of those little Muppets in that David Bowie Muppet movie. What was that called? Labyrinth? There was a couple of them that would climb underneath the... they were drawing arrows so they knew how to get through the labyrinth. And those little guys would grab them and turn the arrows the other way so they couldn't figure out their way. I think that's what I'd want to be.
All right. Now we know. The more you know. Thank you so much for this amazing interview. And it's time for...
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I feel really honored to have you. You're my first business owner that I have in the show.
All right.
So I've learned so much already. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's time for you to switch seats with the man, Daniel Gold. Woo!
It's turned off right now.
Oh my God. See, now you're gonna have to.
This
We're
became
gonna have
a team
to.
Jenga game.
I know, right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm at an unfair disadvantage right now with this game.
I took all the easy ones.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, now it's time for some Daniel Gold. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate giving us a platform to discuss the fundraiser and having us out.
Yeah, of course. This is so important, and I love KAVA. I have a lot of love for KAVA and the team. Like you're always so nice. Like it's all a community, and we're all there to feel loved and accepted and free. So this is really important. We need to save the spot. I want to talk about your first underground electronic music event. When was the first time you ever went to one?
Oh man, probably talking
You're probably it's okay.
mid to late 90s. I can't really even remember a specific event, but I kind of during like that time I was sort of into like the post-punk and like goth industrial scene, so I had gone to quite a few shows and events that were more along those lines. And then I think around like 98, 99, towards like the end of when things were really underground with the rave scene, they were starting to become more commercial. I started going to underground raves, a handful of warehouse events around San Diego, a couple bigger ones up in LA. I'm hard pressed to remember the names. Probably like Juju Beats and How Sweet It Is. Oh! But yeah, around that period, I feel like I sort of made that transition into being full on into going to underground parties and part of the rave scene and all that. And that was right around the time that I actually met Christy KAVA Lounge for the first time as well. And yeah, I mean, been friends with her for at least 20 years now.
Wow.
And that was kind of my entry point into KAVA Lounge, coming out of being into the local music scene and the electronic music scene in particular in San Diego.
And how did you start getting involved in the industry? Was it through DJing, like, or was it in KAVA Lounge, or how did you start? And by the way, you can pick one, and then I still want your signature too. You can pick a color. Oh, black. Okay.
You know,
yeah.
gotta stay in character here.
I know. Yeah, I was gonna wear colors today, and then like, wait, no, let's be real. Like, we're all gonna wear black, so.
There you go. What was the question again?
Yeah. How do you get started in the industry?
In the bar industry, or more so in the entertainment industry, DJing, music?
I would say like entertainment industry. And
Yeah,
then in the bar.
I guess
Yeah.
going to shows in the beginning. I had a background in music. I played saxophone for something like 10, 12 years throughout high school, and a few other instruments. I played bass in a couple bands, and was going to more rock and roll shows at that time. But yeah, I kind of, as I started going to more raves and underground parties, warehouse events, stuff like that, my focus kind of became on learning to DJ. And I had a friend that had turntables. And yeah, I probably tortured him and his roommates with the same like 10 records for like 6 or 8 hours a day. And slowly buying more records and stuff. I used to go to Elevator down, when it was there downtown on like 10th and E, and get whatever records I could afford at the time, and just kind of learned that way. Just yeah, torturing friends, repetitive music.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta start with like 10 songs or something to start practicing and get it going. So I understand.
The songs were a lot more expensive back then. It's $12 for a single song on vinyl. You had to pick and choose carefully.
Damn. Yeah, it's definitely easier access now. It's crazy how with the DJ has come so far in the technological advances.
It's a lot easier to carry around a USB stick than a huge crate full of records.
Yeah, that's how my dad started too. He has like a lot of records at home, and he loves just having to carry his USB or his. Oh, yeah. It's great, and I'm glad that he was able to adapt. And so, how do you get in the bar industry? Like, how do you start becoming a bartender?
So around this time, right around 99, 2000, I was living downtown in the church lofts on 10th and E Street, and I was actually working as a waiter at Pokey's. The
I
Mexican
love that
restaurant.
place. Yeah.
So I can't remember the exact year. I want to say like early 2000s. Rafa opened up this little bar next door called the Rosary Room, which was just a little sangria and beer bar that was connected to Pokey's for a few years, and I ended up running that for, I don't know, 2-3 years, something like that. And that was my first experience with actually managing a bar. And then I kind of got out of the industry and went back to school, but was still DJing, and I was, still involved with KAVA Lounge from the moment that it opened as far as DJing there. But yeah, that was my first position. And then, I'd worked waiting tables and doing other things in the service industry before. But after graduating, I kind of didn't really have a job, and they needed help at KAVA, so I started bartending there, and I just sort of quickly was like, we got to do this and this and this, and streamlined everything, and took more and more of a role.
More responsibility.
Yeah.
More of the role.
And we would all sort of have a hand in everything, but I guess I was sort of the central point of convergence because I was there the most, and so a lot of things just sort of ran through me in terms of booking and just the general operations of the bar. But
yeah. And I also, well, not right now, right? But I worked in a nightclub at Rich's.
Mm-hmm.
So I sell Jello shots, and I love talking to people, and it's such an awesome feeling when you're just looking at people every night and everyone's cool. But then you also have those customers, right? Do you have any crazy story about a customer?
Oh, man. I mean, I'm sure I do. It's hard for me to just single it down to just one. I mean, there's a lot of characters that come through the bar for sure.
Dante does a pretty good job.
Yeah, our security guard is really good about sort of diffusing situations before they get, explosive. We've definitely had to kick people out. I've had to cut people off.
The usual bar stuff.
People stealing other people's drinks, or people acting inappropriate towards each other, not respecting each other's space. And I have to be aware of that as well. And if I see something that doesn't look right, I'll have to be the one to step in and say something. And people don't always listen when alcohol is involved.
Yeah. I would definitely have to kick some people out at work too at Rich's. And they try to steal my shots, or they try to be rude. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
And really, that's the great thing about being a bartender versus being a food server too, is I feel like I have that authority to kind of just be like, no, you're cut off, get out. Like.
Yeah. When you take their alcohol away, that's when they get mad.
Yeah, it's true.
What is your favorite drink to make, or your specialty?
Not an old fashioned.
Yeah. So you can make it for me on Saturday when I DJ.
You know, my favorite drink on the menu. So obviously, I'm a mezcal drinker, so my favorite drink is just to drink mezcal neat. But in terms of making a cocktail in our menu, I really like the Jade Kiss, which I believe is your favorite
that's
drink.
one of my favorites. Yes.
It's
the Jade Kiss,
there's a handful of people that religiously drink that drink, and it's so good. It's just fresh cucumber, lime, agave, like simple ingredients, but it's just really refreshing and tasty.
So good. I want one of those now. Like, I know last time I went, you didn't have.
We didn't have the cucumber.
I don't think.
Yeah, I will have some for you on Saturday.
Okay.
Sorry, that was my fault, actually. I forgot.
I know.
I
Come on,
reminded
Scott,
him.
get it together.
And I dropped the ball.
It's okay.
The reason I said that old-fashioned thing is that we'll have nights where we'll get like a lot of orders. So we're always trying to push them on each other because they
take a little bit of work.
Fairly labor-intensive.
Yeah, it's funny because we would, have our really busy nights, which were kind of our bread and butter, our Friday and Saturday house techno parties where it would just be crazy,
Oh, yes.
And then we'd get these orders where somebody comes up and orders like 6 or 7 like high maintenance cocktails, and we're like, there's all these people staring at us, and we're just like, oh my god, like, and you just sort of have to like breathe in, just be like, all right, I'm in the eye of the hurricane. I got this, and they can wait and just do it. But it's easy to get flustered, and a lot of it is sort of a, emergency management skills, I feel like.
Oh my god, yeah. So what do you do when someone gives you a crazy order? You just like, okay, like let me write this down, or let me figure it out.
There's no writing anything.
No. You really have to be able to do things on the fly, both with knowing the ingredients, knowing how to efficiently make a bunch of cocktails at the same time, like which ingredients you can put in all the cups at the same time in like one squirt or one pour or whatever. So you kind of have to prioritize the order in which you do things, as well as the order you're serving customers. You have to know all the prices. You have to be able to, off the top of your head, give people totals. So when you're in that fast-paced environment, it's really, it takes practice, but you have to be able to do things on the fly and use your your memory.
Your memory, your imagination. Just get from the power of all the bartenders.
Yeah, it's a channel.
The world, channel it, channel the energy. Cause just people get picky. Even with me, like my Jello shots are pretty straightforward. Like there's tequila, there's vodka, and there's different colors. But for some reason, people always want to go for the blue one.
Right.
Like, I don't know why. And it's just like, oh, there's no blue. I don't want it. And you're like, oh, can you make some? Like, no, like I can't make one right now. I'm
it's just
sorry.
food coloring.
I
like,
know, just food coloring. It all tastes the same at the end. It tastes like straight up vodka or tequila. So, what is your fondest memory of KAVA Lounge?
It's hard to pin down one specific memory. Like Scott said, I feel like there's sort of these like periods of my life. There's certain nights for sure, like Halloween nights. I'd be hard pressed to tell you which year it was or what happened exactly, but you get those like nostalgic moments about like just the people that you're with and the party itself. And we've had some great events there, everything from like the Perps and Turks kind of like Desert Hearts nights that we had, which were a lot of fun, to the more recent like Umbrella Friends events.
Yeah, those were lit. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of our anniversaries have been really epic, like our Marcus Wyatt parties. We've had so many really talented people come through there, and such good vibes from the crowd. And it kind of gets lumped into months, years, like periods of my life where when I look back on it, I'm like, wow, that was really amazing. Like,
aw, that's beautiful. Yeah, you look back and you think of all the amazing memories that you've made at that place.
Yeah, it's been I think I've been there for at least 6 years, maybe closer to 7 now.
Oh, wow.
So pretty much as soon as Scott took over, I started there. But even before then, I was involved with the place, DJing when Mateo and Christy were running it. So it's, it goes back 16 years probably worth of memories that I've had there.
Wow.
I think my first residency as a DJ was there. I did a night, me and Little Ryan from Dance Classique did a Sunday night there early 2000s, like maybe 2003.
Oh, so they had Dance Classique there before
No.
Before Blonde? Oh.
No. So Dance Classique was always at Blonde, and Bar Dynamite before it was Blonde.
Yeah.
But me and Ryan worked together. Ryan, one of the resident DJs from Dance Classique. We worked together on a night at KAVA Lounge, and then there was another bar called Candela's downtown that we were both residents at. So I DJ'd with him at KAVA and at a couple other places. But yeah, Dance Classique's always been in that building.
in that building. So why should we save KAVA Lounge? Why do you want people to know?
I mean, I just obviously from the outpouring of the community response to when we made the announcement that we were going to go under, it means a lot of things to a lot of people. I think it's a really important place in San Diego history, and I think in particular right now with the pandemic, places like that are being threatened like never before.
Yeah.
And if we don't save places like this, what are we going to be left with? It's really crazy. A lot of the hardest aspect of this falls on the small business owners.
Yes.
And I don't want it to just be Starbucks and Applebee's when all of this is over. We need our small venues.
Yeah, and there aren't that many places for the underground sound to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's Blonde, there's KAVA and Spin, and I think that's it.
Space Bar.
Space Bar sometimes, and we don't really have a lot of. Yeah, for like the techno, like the house, like we don't have a lot of places, so it's important that we at least have something left.
Yeah, definitely. And no, it's been crazy this past week in particular, because we've known since the beginning of this that we were just barely on the edge, and we were very hopeful with reopening that things would continue to go our way. But yeah, this past week has been a roller coaster. We went from being completely hopeless and imminent shutdown permanently to the next day, this just huge community response. And, it literally like brought me to tears just seeing all of these people like pouring their hearts out about how much they didn't want to lose KAVA Lounge. And
I know,
that's when it hit me.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I haven't gotten any notifications. Why are you not donating, people? Whoever's watching, you need to donate right now.
We did get one donation from Mr. Wright, so I want to make sure he gets credit for that.
Hey, Mr. Wright, thank you. See, like that's what I'm talking about.
Wayne has already been very generous in his donations, so that's really just icing on top of the cake. So thanks, Wayne.
Yeah, thank you,
it.
Wayne. We appreciate you. He was here 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. Was it? Yeah, because we speak. Yeah, he's a wonderful human. So. Thank you.
And I think Wayne is actually a good person to use as an example for why KAVA Lounge should be saved, because he came out here, having no experience in the scene, but having great energy and great vibes and wanting to do events. And, we were one of the few places that actually gave him a shot to do stuff, us and Blonde. And, he really came correct and treated all of his DJs, all of us bartenders, us as a venue with maximum respect. And, there needs to be that opportunity for people that are coming up to be able to get there, and it's hard. So places like KAVA Lounge often act as a stepping stone.
Yes.
For the little guy. And
yeah, I've been to so many events there. My favorite one is Divinity when they had it really often, because I love that dark techno, and they will decorate it and it would just look like a little dungeon. Oh, and also Umbrella Friends, we're on point with their decorations. So there are, and so many more. There are just so many to talk about.
You never know. Like you walk in, and that's what I think that the minimalistic vibe helps with what we do is because we really just are providing the canvas for each of these acts to come in and really make it their own space.
Yeah.
For the night. And I've come in there and just been like 3 nights in a row, and it's been 3 completely different things.
Yeah,
so it's really cool.
It's great. You can really transform the room.
Yeah,
and I love the mirrors. Okay, that's probably my favorite part, because I'm just like looking at myself and it's like, yeah, you got this.
Yeah, the sheer amount of diversity that we have there is pretty astounding. That I've seen over the years, doing the booking there as well as just being there in the middle of it. I mean, we've got. Our longest running night, Ascension, is the Goth Industrial night.
Oh, yeah, with Miss Robin Roth. Shout out.
Yeah, definitely. She's one of our hugest supporters. And, we've got that. And then we've also got a lot of house and techno, a lot of experimental sort of beat maker, producer, live synthesizer hardware stuff going on, which you don't see hardly anywhere. We've got a Bollywood night.
What? I didn't know you guys had a Bollywood night. That's cool.
Yeah. What up, Prashant, if you're watching? Who's also been an amazing promoter to work with, and he, was touring all around the country doing these Bollywood events all over the place.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, we've had all types of different bands play.
Yeah, you also had the Mezcal Mondays. I
Yeah.
went to one of those too. That was cool.
Yeah,
Even though I'm not a fan of Mezcal, but
you just haven't had the right mezcal.
No, it's like tequila's ugly cousin.
Ow!
Don't go there, please. You've probably only had like a couple different ones.
Hey, I've been to Oaxaca with my mom, so
Okay,
I've been to the mecca of mezcal, and I'm not a fan. It's too smoky for me.
I hated it, and I said all those same things too. You just have to drink your way through it. I promise you, you'll like it when you get to the other side.
Not all of them are smoky, but usually that element's there. But once you drink it for a while, you don't even notice the smoke.
Yeah, because you're already drunk by that time. You don't even notice. No, it's okay. No. I'm not gonna bash on your mezcal lovers. You know,
for sure.
I'm just it's interesting because definitely tequila all the way for me.
To each their own.
Yeah. Speaking of that, like you're like a big fan of cilantro too, because I hate cilantro. Like I was looking at your page, I'm like, yeah, like this guy loves cilantro. Like, I got the gene. It doesn't taste like soap, but it just tastes like if I was chewing on grass. You know what I mean?
I feel you. See, I hated it when I was a kid, to be honest. I couldn't stand it. But for some reason, as I've gotten older, I've just started to like it, and now I just can't get enough of it. I feel like it really shines in certain contexts, though. Like onions, cilantro, lime on top of a taco, like that combination of like the crunchiness and the freshiness and the citrus, like is really amazing. Or cilantro in like a banh mi sandwich with like the pickled carrots and daikon, like those are like the best applications for it. But honestly, I could probably just eat a handful of them.
Oh wow! Yeah, or I could just eat a handful, like whatever.
Graze like cattle on the cilantro.
Yeah, and you're actually like, are you vegan? Because I see you posting all these pictures of your vegan food. I'm like, damn, like you posted a picture of your tacos and then of your ramen. I'm like, I need to go over it.
I'm not vegan anymore. I was for a number of years. I am vegetarian, so I've probably been vegetarian for close to 20 years now. I was vegan for almost a decade.
Wow.
But yeah, I did study abroad in Spain, and it was really difficult.
Oh yeah, they eat a lot of meat. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're basically just like ham with everything.
Jamon.
Like, the jamon serrano that's like thin sliced. Like, but I'm on a budget there as a student. Like, there was no way that I could survive off of tapas
Yeah, you just need
and
to
not
survive.
eat cheese, right?
Yeah.
Or like tortilla española.
Yeah.
And so I started eating cheese and eggs when I was in Spain. And then realized that this was some amazing Spanish cheese, and was like, all right, now I'm just a regular vegetarian.
I know. Yeah, I know. That's probably the hardest part for me, like the cheese, because I love cheese.
Yeah, but now it's like I want like some really good quality cheese, like in moderation. I'm not just like all about like pouring on like handfuls of like low quality cheddar or something like some places do.
Only the best, okay?
Yeah.
And you can eat it with your pinky up too.
Exactly. Paired with a nice mezcal.
Yeah. Oh my God, now I'm hungry. Okay, we need to. All right, it's time to finish this interview so I can go eat somewhere. Okay, it's time for the human experience, and number one is, what do you look forward to most in life?
Well, I would say traveling more. Obviously, that's
Same.
kind of on hiatus for the moment. But that's, definitely a priority of mine while I'm still relatively young, is to see more of the world as much as I can. And I'm hopeful that we will, other parts of the world have kind of gotten this thing under control. So as soon as they let Americans back in.
I know. I saw some pictures of the UK, like that it reopened and everyone's just trashed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I wonder how everything, like, people are going to make memes of America when everything reopens too. They're going to be posting all these crazy pictures of us.
Yeah, it's I'm sure it's already happening.
What do you think causes the most damage to our world? And is there any way we can avoid it?
Oh, man. That is
getting deep. Yeah, we get deep.
Broad and difficult question. I mean, the easiest answer to say would probably be humans.
Damn. Eliminate all humans.
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm
but
kidding,
I mean, obviously reforming some of our practices would be ideal. the footprint that humans have made on planet Earth is,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah, we need to reassess our values and
our
and
priorities.
strive to become better people all the time. That's what I'm all about, like self-improvement. I'm just
Yeah.
extremely passionate about that subject.
And I think the way that we treat each other is paramount in that situation as well, just acting more so out of compassion than selfishness, and thinking about the future and what kind of world you want to leave kids and all that stuff. I feel like that's important to keep in mind, because we get so caught up in the here and now and survival and all these things, but it's not just about those short-term goals. You know, we have to think about the big
long
picture.
term.
Yeah.
Big picture. What would you regret not doing in your life?
Well, I would go back to travel on that one. I think that, you know, I would definitely be bummed out if I didn't get to go to certain places, see certain things, or, you know, but I think the older I get, the less I regret things in a weird way. Like, I don't know, it's, you kind of have to let go of that, because it's a waste of time, I feel like. You know, you're not really doing yourself any favors by clinging to regret. You just sort of have to deal with situations as they come, you know, use the resources you have to live the best life you can, and, you know, hope for the best.
Pretty much. Definitely me, as I got older, I started to realize that, how we're not eternal, and we just got to keep moving forward and live the best lives that we can, because we're only here for a short period of time.
Yeah, and I think, you know, family is super important. You know, as I've gotten older as well, I think, you know, my relationship with my mom and my sister and family members, like, it's, you know, I lost my brother and my dad over the past decade. You know, it's, you know, it's life. But it's going through those experiences has made me really value the people that I have left. And honestly, in this pandemic, in a way, it's kind of brought us closer together, because now we're doing Zoom meetings every week. I'm talking to my aunt in Ireland, and I'm talking to my sister in Seattle, and my mom, you know, on the computer. But, you know, I would go weeks without talking to them before all this happened, and now we're finally like, you know, what's
it's like
new?
kind of like a reality check.
Yeah.
You know? So
and then
it's great.
Yeah. So, next question.
Yeah. If you had if you had to be someone else for one day, who would you be?
Oh, someone else for one day.
Scott.
I'd probably be Jeff Bezos, so I could redistribute some of his money.
Jeff Bezos, yeah. I would be Elon Musk.
You know, that would be cool too. I feel like that would be a better experience. I would have more fun as Elon Musk, probably.
That guy's crazy, though.
Yeah,
I mean, I love him, but he's crazy.
Yeah, you got a crazy genius. What is something new you recently learned about yourself?
I think dealing with the pandemic and the solitude, I've learned both that it's been easier than I expected to get through it, and I've actually learned to do some positive things. Like, I've been exercising more, I've been keeping in contact with my family better, I've been making music more in my home studio. So I've had these things that I haven't really had the time to focus on because of everyday life that I have been able to focus on, which is nice. But then also, it's really hit me hard not being around people, because I kind of took that for granted in my job, where I'm out in the center of all this craziness, interacting with people all the time, and to have that just all of a sudden be pulled away. Now it's like, you know, that brief 3-week period where we were able to reopen KAVA Lounge was just like, oh, it's so amazing to actually be out here and talking to people, seeing these faces and making drinks again. Like, so yeah, I guess I've surprised myself in terms of the extrovert and introvert in me kind of both rebalancing and, you know, having to understand that dynamic a little bit more.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've definitely been going through that too. Like, we're social creatures, and we're in the center of everything. Like, when I was working at Rich's, I would walk around the whole club all night, meeting people, like being close to people. And now it's just, people look at you weird if you get a little close.
Yeah.
And it is how it is, what it is right now. But eventually, we're gonna get back, because nothing lasts forever. And this is not the first time humanity goes through a pandemic. So, and now we're fortunate to be in this era that we have more technological advances. We have internet, we can Skype or Zoom, right? Because Skype is not cool anymore. But we can watch live streams. Like, we have options. So I feel really happy to be alive.
Yeah, definitely.
Regardless. And now it's time for the Scarlett Letter.
Alrighty.
Pick one.
Take the middle path.
Yes. You and everyone else.
The path most traveled.
Oh, not you. Yeah, not you. He's like, I didn't do it. Like, Scott's like, I took the bottom one.
Yeah. Bottom feeder over here. If you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends and family assume you had done? I would have to say DUI.
That was easy.
It'd be like another one.
Another one. All right. Well,
I will say Dan is very good about that now. He won't even have one drink.
No, I will not drink and drive. I've been through that. Don't drink and drive, kids.
Oh.
Sorry. I want to hit camera 1 and I hit end shot.
Yeah, but long story short, don't drink and drive. That's all you missed. All right. So thank you for being here and for this amazing double interview. I think it's time to hear some music. We're going to go on a little break and we'll be back really soon. Okay.
I had this little Sesame Street tape player.
Oh.
And I would just find tapes. You know, when I realized that I could play more than the Sesame Street stuff, I would grab tapes that my folks would have, and I discovered some electronic music, you know, like some MTV to go and some KLF, you know, KLF. That might be before your time.
Okay.
That was like the first electronic music I was hearing, and it was so crazy, and I was like, this is awesome. So at an early age, I was cool with electronic music, hip hop and all that jazz. And then fast forward to 2006, 2007, I started DJing, and then I guess I kind of got a little bit bored with what I was playing. So I was like, I'm going to start playing some more what we thought was techno. Yeah. What we referred to as techno.
Oh yeah, I totally get it. I started off as a commercial DJ and playing all the top 40s.
We sometimes don't have to take things personal. People are going through a lot of emotional things that you just have to give them their space and just keep showing them that you really love them. And I've been struggling too with that with my really good friends here that I haven't been checking up on them. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like one person really touched base with me, and he told me that it was okay that I was working on myself, and it's okay that everything will come at its time, and yeah, definitely. And I think that one of the most important things is that you are working towards bettering yourself. Yeah. You should never stop wanting to learn and grow and be a better person. I think that was the biggest thing for me, because I love everything about self-help and self-improvement. And
when you're in drag, you're forced to be reckoned with, and like when you walk into a room, all eyes are on you. Yeah. And you're the center of attention, and you just gotta own it or just don't do it.
You either own it or you don't, and you fucking leave.
Oh yeah, the door's that way, baby.
Yeah. You gotta be unique, and you gotta be able to be comfortable with, and for any entertainer.
Really, absolutely, right? Yeah. Like, it's the key to success is just being friends with everybody, dude. Like, if you hate somebody, I mean, don't let them know it.
Yeah.
Like, especially if they're paying you. Like, you know, you don't want to be a dick to like people that can get you opportunities. You know, be nice, be fucking cordial. Like,
and then you never know who might give you an opportunity.
Exactly.
Also, you gotta be nice to everyone.
Yeah, and you know, you never know who's watching either. So I mean, just be aware of your surroundings and the people you know.
So okay, what do you love the most about drag then?
Let the bass kick.
All right. Yay. All right. Sometimes I forget to plug in the mic because, you know, we got to do a bunch of stuff at once. Thank you so much for playing. That was amazing. I was like dancing in the corner in the studio. Like, yeah. Made me feel like I was at KAVA. Any last words you want everyone else to know?
I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that donated and everyone that's expressed support for us over this past week. It's been a roller coaster, to say the least. And we hope to see you soon at KAVA Lounge.
Yes, thank you so much for tuning in. For everyone that donated, for Scott, thank you for being here. And see you all next Thursday. Woo!
Oh, and you're DJing on